These 3 RCMP constables were the first to arrive at the scene of what became one of the worst shooting sprees in Canadian history.
Explosions, gunfire, whatever, they sound very similar, right?
Structures are collapsing all around us. I mean, it's a war zone.
The officers say they had no access to night vision technology and no way to track the whereabouts of other arriving officers. 3 911 callers suggested the killer was driving a mocked-up RCMP vehicle, as heard by the Commission.
Where the complainant said something to do with an RCMP car in the yard.
The officers say they didn't have enough detail to confirm those suspicions, as denturist Gabriel Wortman used his RCMP disguise to kill 13 of his neighbors in Portapique. As they searched for the killer, the officers left 4 children whose parents had been killed alone in a house.
It was the single hardest decision that we made that night.
Better to find the killer, they reasoned, and leave the children in the care of 911 than to stay with them and have everyone else in the subdivision murdered. In the chaos, they did mention alerting the general public.
Is there some kind of emergency broadcast that we can make that make people go into their basement and not go outside?
There never was an emergency alert, even after the killer escaped from Portapique, hid out overnight, and killed 9 more people across central Nova Scotia the next day. Almost 2 years later, the 3 officers say they welcome the opportunity to speak publicly.
I was glad to see that we were finally being acknowledged for going in. Constable Patton?
Yeah, I mean, we tried our best. It was mayhem, and we tried to deal with things as they came.
Same, just that we tried our best.
The failure to contain the gunman and the lack of an emergency alert are expected to come up at a later date when senior RCMP managers, including Commissioner Brenda Lucki, are called to testify. Dallas?
Ross Lord in Halifax. Thanks, Ross.